Honestly, the biggest sin of this movie is that it gives away its twist in the trailer. Alright, hey guys, back again with another movie for you. This one is a horror comedy brought to you by the directors of Ready or Not and the last two Scream movies. So really love Ready or Not, was not crazy about the Scream movies, but be that as it may, Abigail is their newest creation about a group of kidnappers who get locked in a house with a monster who is actively fucking with them. So on that note, this is their latest horror comedy. It is a delight. I had a lot of fun watching this. It is very much in the same vein as Ready or Not, more Ready or Not than Scream 6, what was it, 5 and 6? Whatever we're at with the Scream movies now. But anyway, so it strikes that fun tone of having gruesome, gory imagery while also being very tongue-in-cheek about it. I don't want to say poking fun at the vampire genre, but definitely having fun with it. It has a very stacked cast. Melissa Barrera, who was in the Scream movies, she's been kind of like the lead in this one. It has Dan Stevens, who's always a delight most of the time whenever I see him in anything. It also has Alicia Weir, who plays the titular Abigail, who I don't know where they found this little girl, but she does a fantastic job. And a bunch of other people here. It's a very stacked cast. And Kevin Durant, who's having a very good year. We'll get to another one of his movies later on. But yeah, Abigail, I guess I could just say what it's fully about, because again, it's in the trailer, which kind of sucks, because the actual reveal isn't made till halfway through, and it was clearly meant to be a surprise, but marketing's gonna market. So the big twist is that these group of criminals are hired to kidnap this little girl named Abigail, so they can ransom her off to her father, and are holed up in this mansion in the middle of nowhere, with the intent on hiding out there until they get their ransom. Unfortunately for the kidnappers, it is revealed that they are actually locked inside the mansion with Abigail, who turns out to be a vampire. So once they finally figure this out, it is very much a game of cat and mouse, as everyone tries to figure out how to not die by the killer little girl ballerina vampire, and somehow make it to just get the fuck out of there. So it's very basic setup, and it's very effective setup, and it is helped by just having the great cast that it does. Everyone has pretty good chemistry with each other. It does follow fairly predictable beats, but that's okay. I don't really have a problem with predictability in movies. I more care about if it's executed well, and this is executed very well. It's sharply written. It's very effectively played out. Dan Stevens and Melissa Barrera in particular do have very good chemistry together. They work really well off each other. I also really liked Catherine Newton, who plays Sammy, who's like the tech whiz, who's way over her head with anything beyond that. And I think there's even the one clip, I think that kind of went I don't want to say mainstream, I don't know if that's even still a phrase people use anymore, that I picked up on the internet, was just when she pulls up a bag of onions thinking it's garlic, and Dan Stevens goes Sammy, those are fucking onions. It's a great line, it's a great delivery. And again, the character of Abigail herself is a very compelling character, very wonderfully acted by little girls, which is good, because children actors that are good are very hard to find. And when you do find one that just strikes gold, it's worth a watch. I don't know how much longevity this has as a franchise, because it does always strike the question of how quickly can you make new movies before this girl grows up? It's kind of the issue that the Shazam movies ran into, until they stopped it too. And I have a feeling it's going to be an issue that the current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies are going to run into. That's why I think they're trying to get those done as quickly as humanly possible, or at least recorded as quickly as humanly possible. Now, I do not blame them. Because it's not like, Psychonauts, where most of the kids were played by adults, so they could just pick up those voices again decades later. But I know it's a weird example to pull from, but I have a Psychonauts poster on my wall, so it was literally the first thing I thought of. But anyway, I do think some flaws of the movie are definitely that it does start to wear out its welcome especially towards the third act, where it does feel like it has one too many twist reveal moments. I think there's at least 5 in the final act. I don't want to give away what those are for the sake of not spoiling the movie for you guys. But it does get to a point where it's like, okay, 3 was already pushing it. This is getting a little excessive. So it does feel like it didn't quite know where it wanted to end. And it does kind of meander for that particular reason. But that's really my biggest flaw with the movie, is the fact that I was kind of like, okay, guys, like, wrap it up a bit here. I get you're trying to, like, set this up for sequels, or maybe make this a franchise, or whatever you're planning on doing with it, but it does feel like you should have wrapped this up by now. But beyond that, if you liked Ready or Not, if you liked the last 2 Scream movies, this one is very much in the same tone and the same writing style, and just the same general vibe of those films. And I really liked Ready or Not. I thought that was a great horror comedy, so therefore I really like this one too. I had a blast watching it. So I think if you go into it with that mindset and those expectations, you'll have a good time. It's a fun twist on the vampire genre, and it's effective. It does exactly what it wants to do. I wouldn't say it's amazing, or like it's gonna be my top 10 best or anything like that, but for an hour and 45 minutes or whatever, how long this movie is, it's a fun time, and I do recommend it. How long is this movie? I'm gonna quickly check to see. Almost 2 hours. Yeah, it did not need to be almost 2 hours. So yeah, I think that's really all I have to say about Abigail. I think it is a very fun movie. And if you want and you like your horror movie in that similar vein, you'll have fun with it too. So next one on my list that I'll probably put up the day after this one goes up is going to be Free Guy. So I'll see you all in that video. Bye.